Hello, everybody. Scott Golden here with the Raw review for the 19th of July 2021. And anyway, so John Cena enters, gets a big reaction just as he did last night at the pay per view. By the way, the pay per view analogy will be up here pretty quickly. Cena notes that the fans are still getting in the seats and they should do so quickly. He shouts at a fan who has having or is having a birthday. He said, the biggest superstar in the WWE are the fans. They're proving it tonight. He joked that he might wear a Peacemaker outfit in the Suicide Squad premiere. I guess he's in Suicide Squad. Anyway, Cena wanted to explain why he wanted the match. It wasn't because of the magnitude of SummerSlam or because title win number 17. It's because Roman Reigns is a, well, pain in the tail and he needs to be knocked down a peg. He says the Reigns thing has gone on long enough. He called Reigns an arrogant, self-absorbed, overhyped, overprotected gimmick, which wasn't as over as he thinks he is. And he said, that's coming from me. He said, if you're good, you tell everyone how good you were, but if you're great, the fans will tell you. Cena announces that he planned on showing up SmackDown on Friday. Cena says it's time to get the show started, which brings out Riddle. Cena is caught off guard by Riddle fireworks. Crowd chants bro. And Cena and Riddle say bro a bunch of times. Cena hugs and endorses Riddle and leaves. Obviously, Cena is good in the situation. Bobby Lashley is issuing a open challenge for the title. And tonight, Charlotte Flair will also have a championship celebration. Six-man tag match. Riddle and the Viking Raiders defeat John Morrison and the Raw Tag Team Champions AJ and Omos in just over 12 minutes. Eric and Ivar basically get rid of Morrison on the outside. They celebrate with Riddle almost launches Styles into all three of them. Post-break, Omos is in control of Riddle, which doesn't make sense. He doesn't have that much experience, so he shouldn't be here. Anyway, Riddle fights out by Morrison and Styles, runs to tag Eric, and then Styles and Eric had a nice strike exchange, and Eric wipes out Styles with a running knee. Eric hits another knee strike, but Styles comes back with a Pele kick. Morrison and Ivar tag in and exchanged counters until Ivar hit a clothesline. Ivar goes for a moonsault, but Morrison moves. Morrison goes for the Starship Pain, but Ivar never moved. And then Riddle sprays Omos from behind with a dripstick. Omos turns around and assumes it's Miz. And so he goes after Miz. Miz backs away in his wheelchair. Morrison tries to save his friend, almost chucked him back in the ring. Eric and Ivar give Morrison a Viking experience for the pinfall win. Crowd is medium into this. They pop for the finish, but I guess this is fine. Jackson Riker says he planned on doing bad things to Elias later on tonight. And they plug next year's WrestleMania in Dallas. And then Elias is in the ring post-match here, or pre-match, and then he wants the crowd to yell, walk with Elias. Before they could say more, Riker appears, and then he basically says that they'll never hear from Elias again. Symphony of Destruction match. Jason Riker defeats Elias in 12 and 3/4 minutes. Musical instruments all around the ring. There's a use of a keyboard, and he's pinned outside of the ring, so apparently this is false count anywhere. Elias hits a flying knee for near fall. Riker smashed guitar across his back, which leads to a break. They continued fighting for a little bit, and then there's a spot where Riker tossed Elias into a piano for a near fall. Elias hits Riker twice with a cello for near fall. Match comes to an end. Riker super kicks his opponent, and Riker, or superplexed, I'm sorry, and then Elias gets sent through a table for a pinfall win, which the finish looks good. The match went on way too long. Crowd is quiet. at least for the first half of the match, but they get into maybe the second half, maybe the last 4 minutes or so. Mansoor with Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville in the back. Mustafa Ali shows up, and Deville informed him that they approved the request to be a team. Ali is surprised to learn this. Mansoor explained that Ali wanted him to learn. It made sense for them to team. Ali didn't like it, but agreed to do it for one night. Sheamus shows up and argues with Deville and Pearce. He isn't happy about being facing Carrillo again. Why are they still doing this with with people in the audience now? I don't think anyone cared when they weren't in. And so Carrillo deserves a fair shot. Sheamus threatened to smash Carrillo's face. They don't have a real reaction to this. We go into the second hour, Charlotte's championship celebration. She gets a mixed reaction. She says it felt good to be standing there as the women's champion. She said Rhea Ripley tried to take a page from her book, but it doesn't happen. And she said she created the book. Crowd chanted for Becky Lynch. Charlotte let them know that Lynch was at home breastfeeding, which I think was funny. She runs down the accolades, calling herself the only 11-time women's champion in history. You know, and I guess they're not acknowledging her NXT runs. Anyway, Charlotte says that she could beat Ripley any day of the week. Ripley interrupts and challenged her to a rematch. Charlotte makes fun of her and mentioned that Ripley's whining about a hurt knee last night. Charlotte declines, and Pearce and Deville enter. Deville congratulates Charlotte on winning the title. However, she said she has and can beat Ripley any day of the week. Pearce agrees and makes the title match official for tonight, and the crowd is behind this. Charlotte kicks a shoe at Ripley before kicking her leg, and then Charlotte leaves the ring. They recap Nikki Ash winning Money in the Bank, which I think hopefully restarts her career. Tag team champs Natalya and Tamina defeat Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax. Do they have any other women in this tag division? Anyway, Baszler and Jax didn't get an entrance, and then Tamina wins quickly with a pinfall after super kicking Baszler thanks to Reginald's interference. Post-match, Baszler seems to have had enough. She said that she's unstoppable until Reginald showed up, and then the crowd chanted for Shayna. Jax hugs Reginald before headbutting him. Jax leaves with Baszler. Reginald was left alone in the ring, and there were some people chanting to his demise. Akira Tozawa chased down the ring 24/7, crew of goofs, and then Reginald knocks him down, pins him to win the title. He leaps over the steel barricade, and off they go. So then we go Sheamus defeating Carrillo, 9-title match, 10-13. There's no reason for this. This goes through a commercial break. Sheamus is in control when they return. Carrillo fights back, biting Sheamus in the process, falling with a series of kicks. Carrillo brings Sheamus down off the top with a Rana and follows with a suicide dive and a missile dropkick for near fall. Carrillo hurts his hand and punches Sheamus in a steel face mask. Sheamus headbutts Carrillo with said face mask and hits a brogue kick for the pinfall win. Bobby Lashley MVP promo. Lashley and MVP enters. Lashley's open challenge. Lashley said he didn't like talking. He did all the talking he needed to last night. He destroyed Kofi Kingston. He's done talking. MVP said fans are lucky to be in Lashley's presence. He said that Dallas fans resented the champ because they were Cowboy fans and they haven't had a winner in decades. MVP realized that Kofi Kingston was right, but his words lit a fire under the champion. Crowd chants what, MVP ignores them, and the what thing had been done to Cena earlier and probably will be done later in the evening. Anyway, MVP said maybe Lashley was vulnerable a few weeks ago, but that window had closed, and no one would be able to take his championship. No man, no woman, and no more distractions. And tonight, we get to witness the most dominant champion in history. Lashley grabs the mic and asks who's accepting his open challenge. Keith Lee enters. Lee and Lashley stare down at each other as we go to breaks. Anyway, so they can't decide in graphics whether it's a championship match or not. Graves clarified that this is a contenders match, meaning non-title. Jimmy Smith said that the crowd chanted for Lee during the break. Lashley defeats Keith Lee in just under 6 minutes. Lee shined everyone by driving Lashley into the corner, knocks him down with a crossbody. Lee hits Spirit Bomb. Lashley counters into a flatliner, tries sending Lee onto his shoulders outside the ring, but Lee is too heavy and stumbles back into the barricade. Lee did not fall over the barricade, though. Lee shoves Lashley into the post, but becomes distracted by MVP. Lashley knocks him down and hits a running spear. Graves overreacts and says that the ref should stop the match for Lee, and then Lashley tries applying the Hurt Lock, but Lee was once again too big for his issues. Lee could do anything though. Lashley gives him a spine buster and follows up with a spear for a pinfall victory. Goldberg enters. Crowd is excited. They chant Goldberg's name. He gets in Lashley's face. Lashley yells, "I'm next." MVP backs off. Lashley is not happy with this. Kevin Patrick approaches Lashley and MVP in the back for an interview. MVP said Goldberg disrespected the champion, and they didn't plan on responding. Jinder Mahal promo here. Anyway, so Mahal announced that today was his birthday, and no one seemed to care. He said Drew McIntyre was not Mr. Money in the Bank. Mahal recapped recent events by showing 3 different videos. Mahal is happy that McIntyre wouldn't be getting a title match as long as Lashley's champion. Mahal hands the mic to Shanky so he could sing Happy Birthday. Shanky sang. McIntyre enters, hits Mahal and Veer with a chair. Veer helped Mahal out of the ring. McIntyre hit Shanky with the chair about a dozen times or so. Crowd chanted one more time. Chair's busted up. McIntyre goes and gets a new one, hits Shanky at least close to 24 times. So about 30 chair shots for the purring of nothing. Crowd counts along. Shanky is wearing a tank top, but you could still see blood thanks to the chair shots. Karrion Kross video, Doomsday is coming. Kross enters. He wears his NXT title belt, no Scarlet. Jeff Hardy defeats Karrion Kross non-title NXT match. Hardy gets a decent reaction. No More Words theme song. Kross suplexes Hardy around. Hardy catches him with twist fake. Kross dodges a swanton, but Hardy stacks him up and pins him with feet on the ropes for the pinfall win. Hardy picks up a surprise win, and, well, the NXT champion just lost in less than 2 minutes, even in non-title action. Patrick asked Kross about losing his Raw debut. Kross said Hardy just made the biggest mistake of his life. Crowd doesn't care either way. Alexa's Playground. This is completely awful. Bliss spoke to Lily. Eva Marie and Doudrop bust in. Bliss ignores Marie, but is happy to see Doudrop, despite being attacked by her last week. So apparently she doesn't have the best of memories. Bliss warned them that it's not a good idea to say anything bad about Lily. Bliss also didn't want to put her in timeout again. Marie is annoyed. Bliss wants to see what Marie could do without any help. Marie decides to leave, but she tripped over nothing, and Bliss and Lily caused her to fall. AJ and Almost defend the tag titles against the Viking Raiders next week. Raw Women's Champion Rhea Ripley defeats Charlotte Flair by DQ. Charlotte obviously retains the title because of this. Ripley is doing okay. Charlotte targets her knee and takes her down with a chop block and basically sets that going. Charlotte works over Ripley's knee after the break. Ripley then fights back and hits a back suplex. They trade right hands. Ripley hits a series of short arm clotheslines and Northern Lights suplexes while still selling her leg for the 2 count. And then Charlotte comes right back with a boot. Charlotte tries a moonsault, but Ripley gets her knees up. They barely touch Charlotte, by the way. Ripley applies a figure four, but Charlotte reverses. Ripley hits a kick into the Riptide, and Charlotte gets disqualified to retain the championship. Ripley then attacks Charlotte after the match and gives a Riptide outside of the ring. Nikki Ash's music hits, and she runs down, tells the referee she's cashing in her contract. Nikki, almost superhero, defeats Charlotte Flair to win the championship. Nikki goes to the top, hits a flying crossbody as soon as Charlotte gets to her feet, winning the title. Crowd pops big for the cash-in, and we close the show on that note. We'll be back with more right after this.